Hey, welcome back to your favorite Math 126 course. We're going to take a look at circles in this section. So what we're going to do is use some of the knowledge that we have, and from the distance formula. So let's say we have the center of the circle is HK. Any point on the circle is named XY. So we know this distance is radius R from the center of the circle out. And we know our distance formula is square root of x2 minus x1 quantity squared plus y2 minus y1 quantity squared. And this distance from HK, so HK is going to be our x1 and y1, and this will be our x2 and our y2. And distance from the center out to the point on the circle is called our radius. And our x2 here is x minus h. y2 is the y minus the y1, which is k squared. I'm going to get rid of the square root on both sides, so I'm going to square both sides. So there you have it. X minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. This is a standard form of the equation of a circle where hk is the center, r is the radius. So let's go ahead and write one where we have a center of -2, up 3. Here's the center. And it's got a radius of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4 up. 4 left. 1, 2, 3, 4 down. So we can kind of draw this. I can't draw circles. Anyways. And let's note our center, HK, our radius 4. Let's go ahead and write the standard form equation of a circle. X minus our h is squared. Y minus our k is squared equals our radius squared. So we get x plus 2 quantity squared plus y minus 3 quantity squared equals 4 squared, or 16. And that's the equation for that circle that we just drew. Okay. You can go ahead and try this one. I'll give you just a second. Try with this one. Very similar. And we'll check it. All right, go ahead and check yourself if you tried that problem there. Notice our HK is that center there, 5, 1, radius of 3. And we plug it back in just like that first example. All right, how about this time? We're given the standard form, and we're supposed to interpret and graph this thing. So x minus h quantity squared plus y minus k quantity squared equals r squared. So notice the h follows a minus. In fact, I'm going to write it this way. X minus a -1 is the same thing as x plus 1, right? But now hopefully you notice that the h is -1. H is -1. The k is 3. And then the r squared is 25. So the radius must be plus minus 5. But the radius is a distance, so it's got to be the positive 5. Okay, so HK, the center of the circle, is -1, 3, and it's got a radius of 5. So -1, 3. Put that point on there, and then I'm going to go up 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Left 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And so on, and do my best to draw. Man, I can never get that lower quadrant. Anyways, draw your circle. Okay, let's try this one. X minus 3 squared plus y squared equals 13. So x minus h quantity squared plus y minus k equals 13. Oops, I should say radius squared. So our h, notice our h here, x minus h. So h's got to be 3. And then y squared, so the k's got to be 0. Y minus 0 squared, same as y squared. And then we've got 13 right here. So h is 3, k is 0. Here's our center of this thing. And r squared is 13. So we go ahead and square root that. So r is the square root of 13. Well, that's between, square root of 13 is less than 4, but it's more than 3, right? Square root of 9 is 3, square root of 16 is 4. So it's 3 point something. So 3, 0, let me put the center on. 1, 2, 3 and a little bit. 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 So I don't know exactly what square root of 13 is unless I punched it into my calculator, but I do know it's 3 point something. Okay. And there's that one. All right. Now this one, notice we've got it in this crazy general form right now, and we want it in the standard form that's a useful form, right? So what we're going to have to do with x squared plus y squared plus 10x minus 8y plus 16 is we're going to have to complete the square on this. We really have no other options for this problem besides completing the square. So let's gather all the x's together. I'm going to leave a space. Let me gather my y's now. And then notice I have this plus 16. I'm going to take that to the other side and not even deal with it for right now. So equals negative 16. Notice I leave a space after the minus y, 8y. And now what I'm doing is I'm going to complete the square on x squared plus 10x. So I'm looking at that term. I take the 10, I divide it by 2, and I square it. That's what I need, 5 squared. So I need 25 here for this to factor into x plus 5 quantity squared. That's what I wanted. Now I added 25 to this side, so don't forget you got to add 25 to the other side. Now for this minus 8y, I'm looking at negative 8. Negative 8 divided by 2 is negative 4. Negative 4 squared is 16. So I'm going to add 16 and add 16. And then this will factor into y minus 4, y minus 4. So we've got 25 left over. Negative 16 plus 25 plus 16 gives us just the 25 over there. And now notice we are in this form. X minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. So h must be negative 5. K is 4. There's our center. And our r squared is 25, so our radius is 5. So negative 5, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. And the radius is 5. Oops. Down 5, right 5, up 5, left 5. And draw circle best you can. Okay. All right, here's another one. We've got to also complete this square. Let me get all my x's. And then leave a space. Let me gather my y's. And I'm going to take that 7, positive 7, over to the other side. So I'm going to subtract 7. Okay. I got to factor out a 2 first before I complete the square on this. Now I'm going to take a look at that 4. 4 divided by 2 is 2. 2 squared is 4, right? Remember, we're completing the square, so we're taking that number. That's the number we need. 2 squared, 4. I added 4 to this side. Now I really added 8. 2 times 4 is 8. I really added 8. Over here, I've already got a perfect square. This is the same as y minus 0 quantity square, so I don't have to worry about that. This will factor x plus 2, x plus 2. If you want to, you can write it y minus 0 squared on that. And then what you want to do is you want to divide this whole side by 2. In other words, each term is being divided by 2. So now you're in the form. So our h is x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. So h is negative 2, k is 0. There's the center. And if r squared is a half, then r is square root of 1 is 1, square root of 2 is square root of 2. I am going to rationalize that. So my radius is square root of 2 over 2. 1 over root 2, which is square root of 2 over 2. Okay? So less than 1, right? So negative 2, 0. And then square root of a half is less than 1. So it's real small, right? This radius on this thing. Okay? All right, our last example here is we've got the endpoints of a diameter of a circle are 2, 6, negative 4, 2. Here's the endpoints of the diameter of a circle. Okay? And so what we're going to do, sorry, I mistakenly already put that there, is we're going to write the equation for that. Well, if we have the diameter, then we need to find the midpoint first. That would be the center of the circle. So the center of the circle would be from the midpoint formula. If you remember, that's x1 plus x2 divided by 2, comma y1 plus y2 divided by 2. So I have these 2 points, 2, 6, negative 4, negative 2. Here's my x1, y1, x2, y2. So go ahead and find the midpoint, which again is our center. So 2 plus negative 4, y1 is 6, plus and y2 is negative 2. So it looks like 2 minus 4, negative 2 over 2 is negative 1. 6 minus 2 is 4 over 2 is 2. Okay, there's our center of the circle. So there's our HK. And then what you want to do is you want to find the distance. The radius, right? So the radius would be the distance from the center out to an endpoint. Either one. You could go to, let me go to the 2, 6. I'll go out that way. So here's my x1, y1, x2, y2. And now we plug that into our distance formula. So we've got 2 minus a negative 1 squared. Y2 is 6 minus the 2 squared. So we got 2 plus 1 squared, 3 squared, 9. 6 minus 2, 4 squared, 16. So it looks like we got square root of 25. So our radius is 5. So now we know our center and our radius. Here's our HK. And now we can write the equation of the circle. X minus negative 1 squared plus y minus 2 squared equals 5 squared. And that's how you come up with the equation of the circle given 2 points that are on the diameter of the circle. Okay? All right, appreciate you guys watching. We'll see you guys next time.